Hello.
Simon, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How about you?
Yeah, good. It's Sean from the Rockpit over in Perth in Western Australia. How's things?
Nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming to Perth.
Oh, fantastic. And of
I'm
course,
gonna be,
kicking it off in Perth.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna actually come. We've got a gig in Mexico, and then the next gig is in Perth. So I'm gonna come to Perth for like maybe a week because my friend lives in Perth. So we're gonna be having a good time in Perth pre-gig.
Oh,
So I'm looking
wonderful.
forward to that.
Get your jet lag out the way and get your board shorts on and get for a dip in the ocean.
Yeah. Although I think last time we were in Perth, or one of the times we were in Perth, we went for a dip in the ocean, and then my friend a couple of weeks later sent me a like shark in Bay news article. So yeah, maybe just keep out, just dip the toes in, maybe.
Yeah, just keep you far enough away from the snakes. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we've been before. We've been to Australia before. We know the deal. It's all good.
But of course, well, congratulations on the announcement of the tour. Excited to have you back. But it's hard to believe that it's been 2012 since your last visit.
Yeah, it's been a really long time. I don't know why that happened. Still don't know why that happened. But yeah, when we were thinking about this employment anniversary thing, everybody was really like, "Can we go to Australia?" Because I think like we wanted to go for a few years, and like things just haven't worked out or whatever. But also, feel like Australia was an important part of like early Kaiser's story. We used to come quite a lot, and it was obviously pretty successful over in Australia at the time. And it just felt like, yeah, doing the celebrations without including Australia would have been like not it would not have been complete.
Well, I've been listening to Employment again recently, and it just is, it's really hard to believe 20 years old. It's just a timeless album. Um, and obviously, as you can tell by my accent, I'm a southerner Kent boy. So it was certainly an album that was a regular when I was back in the UK living. Um, where does all this time fly? It's just a fantastic album to play it start to finish as well. Must be pretty exciting.
Yeah, really good. I feel like Employment's funny because when it first came out, I actually don't think it sounded like the time. It didn't sound like, I don't know, the Libertines or a lot of those other bands from around the time. It sounded sort of a bit, I don't know, I think it sounded old. Like, I don't know if we were even slightly disappointed that it sounded a bit old when it came out, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that means that when you listen to it now, it doesn't necessarily belong to that time. Does that make sense? It sort of it made it sort of classic before it was a classic, which is good. Anyway, uh, what was the question? The time, sorry, what was the question? Where's the time gone?
Basically, where's that time gone? 20 years, it's hard to believe.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny actually because I think with employment, it feels like some of those songs are fresh and like not 20 years old. Like I guess because we play them all the time, it feels like they can't be 20 years old. That's a long time ago. And when you do that thing, you know, people do that thing of like, so when it came out in 2005, the equivalent was 1985. So which, you know, at the time would have felt like completely ancient. Like, and I remember us doing gigs and like Duran would be there or whatever. And you'd be like, who are these old geezers and why are they here? So we're like now those guys. And you kind of feel like, all right, they must have been like annoyed by us being so, I don't know, enthusiastic and whatever, being so everywhere. But so there's that, but then also uh, it does fit. We in that time, you know, we've done a lot of gigs. We've recorded another, what is it, 7 records. So I guess we've been busy, but yeah, it's funny. I guess time is funny.
So,
Funny thing.
what's been the secret to the longevity of the band and the consistency of the band? Because obviously, we see a lot of bands hit 20 years, 25 years, and members come and go, and you've only really had the one change in the drum position, but the rest of the band's been pretty consistent. What's been the secret to that?
I don't know the answer. I was saying to someone because I've done a few interviews, obviously. And saying to someone that what's interesting is that when we first started, the first 5 years, I reckon, everyone was like, "What do you think you'll still be going in 20 years? Do you think you'll still be going in 50 years? Do you think you'll be going like the Rolling Stones or whatever?" And like, as a kind of young person, you don't know what to say because that being old seems a long way away, and we always wanted to be in the band, so we would presumably continue. But you know that sometimes bands, split up or because they fight or they, people don't want to do it anymore or whatever. And then at some point in the story, people stop asking you that question and start going, "How do you keep it going for so long?" Which
Yeah,
is like the
yeah.
opposite question. So we're definitely in the stage of everybody asking, how did you keep it going so long? And I guess I don't really know. I think we still enjoy it. I think that we're all friends and we kind of like we weren't one of those bands that were like playing pranks on each other and stuff. We were very, nice to each other and respected each other's personal space and all of that stuff. And I think like when we were first in the band, it was all everything was the band, and we spent all the time doing the band. We'd like get up in the morning, get rehearsal, have jobs that meant we could be in the band, go to the pub and talk about the band, do gigs in the band. It was all band. And then gradually, as you get older, people are like get married and have kids, and like so now it feels like people do their own thing. And then when we come together, it's because everybody like wants the time to be in the band and do this thing that we enjoy. Uh, which kind of makes it more special in a way, if you know what I mean. Um, so I think there's that. I think people are having other things to do, but mainly I think it's because none of us want to do anything else.
And when the name of the band originally started, did Lucas Radibi get free tickets to early shows?
He gets free tickets to any show he wants still, if he wants to come. He's still it's still a bit of a thrill because obviously I'm a Leeds fan and he was a big hero um, in the, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s. We met him really early on. We met him, and he was really nice about it, and he was very kind of honoured or whatever why we chose the band name, and was helpful to us. Like did stuff, was very helpful. And we went to South Africa, and we met him, and met the team Kaiser Chiefs, and played football, and went to the stadium, and did all sorts of stuff like that. But still, if I'm posting stuff, he like will be like hearting posts and all of that stuff, like in my DM saying like yes, Simon or whatever. And like still a thrill, still a good thing. Still like, Lucas is like this stuff, great, amazing.
That's pretty cool. And of course, to make it even more of a celebration on the 20th anniversary of the album, promotion into the Premier League. It can't get any better than that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a really, really good year. And like we had a gig in Leeds. So in 2019, we had this gig in Leeds that was for the 100th anniversary of the club, and Bielsa was in charge, and we were ace, and then we didn't get promoted, and we were doing this gig, and we didn't get promoted, and actually the album was delayed as well, so the album wasn't out, and we were like, why are we doing this gig? This is a weird gig, and it was a bit, it was a great gig actually, but it was the mood beforehand was low, and then and it felt like we were cheering everyone up. Actually, that was that point of that gig. Whereas this year, the album stuff has been great because the album's obviously already out. It's been out for 20 years. Uh, the leads got promoted. The sun was out. And everyone was in this amazing mood. So we did this gig in May, and we had the trophy on stage that we'd won, that Leeds had won. We had Patrick Bamford, who was the striker at the time for Leeds, on stage playing guitar. It was a very, very good day.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, obviously, album out last year with the Easy Eighth album. Has the songwriting changed much over the years? How you all write together?
Yeah, I think it changes every album to some extent. Obviously, in the beginning, Nick, who left, was quite a big part of stuff. He was very, important in the songwriting for the first couple of albums. But we have always done. It's always needed to be get past everyone, if you know what I mean. So we've always jammed stuff in the end, or it's always. It's never like that thing where band member brings song and then everyone has to just play the parts. Do you know what I mean? In fact, that happened once, but that no one enjoyed it, so we never did that again. And so yeah, it's always collaborative. So and in the sort of last record, I feel like what happened on the last record? Our last record was interesting because we worked with this guy Amir Amor, who's from Rudimental, and it was much more producery than previous records. So like I think mostly in Kaiser Chiefs, we'd write all the songs and then we'd go to a studio with a producer, and their job was really just record these songs well. That's basically it. Whereas with Amir, we wrote a load of songs, and then I would record them in our rehearsal room. And I'm not a producer by any stretch; like I can do some recording, but I would record them, and then I would send him the parts, and then he would like do a lot of production and like additional production and programming and all sorts of stuff, and then send it back. And it felt like quite modern in terms of like made it sound like I think it made it sound like Kaiser Chiefs making a modern record, like a record from 2024. And also it felt, like because of COVID and stuff, where things got a bit more remote and stuff. It wasn't like we didn't spend that much time basically in the recording studio. We spent more time like rehearsing and writing, and then just uh, what would it have been like? We transferring files
God,
and then
jeez.
getting the results back, and then like feeding back on the results and stuff. So yeah, it was really good actually, and I actually enjoyed the experience. I don't know if I would do it again, but it made it very easy. It made it easy, which I guess goes into the album.
Well,
Naturally.
I love the way you say again. Um, any plans to carry on recording on a new album in the distant or near future?
Yeah, I think like I mean, despite what I just said, I think the last couple of Kaiser Chiefs records, I guess getting them over the line has been stressful for various reasons. And so, another thing about doing the touring this year with employment was I really thought it was great for the band to have this like break where we're doing gigs and we're just having a nice time, and we're not promoting a record, and we're not doing like acoustic sessions for radio stations, and we're not having to hard sell the new songs, and we're not, I don't know, doing all the stuff that you have to do when you've got a record out, which I like, but sometimes it can, be stressful. We just get on stage, do the employment stuff, play the songs that we already know, play the songs that everyone already knows, play the B-sides that we liked, and just have a nice time. And then my thing was like, which basically panned out, was when everybody's ready and everyone's like making a record when everyone's not excited is hard. It's like dragging people about a bit. So wait until everyone's excited and wait until everyone's like, why are we not making a record? Which we've got to that point now where everyone is like, right, let's do it. So I'm going to go on a holiday for a week actually. Then after I've finished being on holiday, then we'll start making a record.
And obviously, the Kaiser Chiefs, they need their bass player not to be eaten by a shark while he's here after his Mexico holiday. So that's quite important.
Yes.
Before I lose you,
Yeah, definitely.
Simon,
Yeah. Got
sorry, before I lose you, I'd love
yeah,
to just finish off with a couple of general questions. Um, my restaurant question, if I may. If you could invite three musicians, dead or alive, to join you for a bit of dinner, who would you have sat with you for the evening?
ooh. Uh, I think, well, go for dinner. You want like quite nice, funny people, right? You don't want anyone too angry. So I'd probably have like I think that Bowie is funny and good, and Ringo. He's the person, like I've met McCartney and a few other people who were like really big heroes when I was growing up. But actually, the person I'd love to meet is Ringo. I don't know why, but I just think it would be great vibes. So Ringo, and then I guess someone more modern who I like. maybe just someone that I'm really good friends with. Oh yeah, so Bowie, Ringo, and then I'd invite one of the Cribs, just so that I had someone that I definitely knew, definitely would definitely get on with, who would make me laugh.
I'm so glad Ringo's come up because I get the other three all the time, and poor Ringo is left outside the restaurant every time, looking through the window like that.
Yeah, I think that's the best one.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. What was the last album you listened to?
Uh, Influence record I listened to. I really like the album that I liked the most in the last couple of years is that MJ Lindemann record that I don't know the name of, but
I'll,
uh,
I'll hunt it down.
it's not it's not called Wristwatch, is it? That's the big song. I'm gonna find out. It's called Manning Fireworks.
Cool. Thank
That
you
is a
for that.
great record.
And I've saved the easiest for last. If you could be credited with writing any song ever written, what song would you choose?
Yeah, I always overthink these questions because I think that like it's got to be an absolutely brilliant answer. What song do I always listen to? Impression. Kind of thinking I had a tiger, but I don't think that isn't.
That's a great song.
I think is that one here? I'm gonna say I had a tiger, but then I think really do you know Michael McDonald or not?
Yeah, I've heard of him. Good old Michael McDonald.
There's a song called "I Keep Forgetting," which is sampled for like "Regulate," but I keep forgetting that I listen to it a lot more than I should. So
Well,
either I had a tiger or I keep forgetting. It's called, I think, by Michael McDonald.
you've only got it for 24 hours, so they won't hate you forever for nicking their song. So you can you can just have the credit for 24 hours.
Great.
Simon, thank you so much for your time. We wish you all the best on the trip over and the tour, and we can't wait to see you over here in Perth.
We are all looking forward to it very much.
Excellent. Well,
More
regards to the
sunshine.
rest of the band and safe travels.
I will see you there. See you at the gig.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.